think? Just gotta get...
What's happening?
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Lil Zay Osama. Now, for those of you who don't know, Lil Zay Osama is a rapper from Chicago. He's could be classified as a drill rapper, man, because most of his records, they sound like drill records. He associates himself with other Chicago drill artists and had a smash hit a couple months ago with Lil Durk, man. Things are looking up for Lil Zay Osama until he took a trip to New York just a few days ago where he was arrested and he was accused of bringing a modified handgun which brought on the feds and actually has several charges levied against him that could have him seeing a lot of time. Now, Lil Zay Osama has taken to social media to speak out on his own behalf about this situation. And also, the footage of his actual arrest has been released online. So we're going to take a look at that and go over the message from Lil Zay Osama that he put out there on social media. Now, before we do that, before we get to all the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Lil Zay Osama. So Lil Zay Osama was arrested this weekend in New York City. Now, New York City has some of the most strict gun laws in the whole country. So it's looking really bad for him, man. You had his fans pouring out to social media, talking on his behalf or whatnot, but man, it just doesn't look up for him. You even had other rappers like Bandman Kevo and people like that who said that there's a possibility that he might beat this. But man, if we know anything from hip hop history, any rapper that's been caught with a gun in New York City or they've been hit with a gun charge in New York City, man, it hasn't gone well for them 99% of the time. You know what I mean? You did have the Rowdy Rich situation, which didn't end up terribly for him because I believe it was like armed security and all that. But Lil Zay Osama, they're saying that he had a machine gun. And there was a headline that said that. In the Fox News report, straight from the local news there in New York, it said this in the headline. It said, rapper Lil Zay Osama arrested in NYC after leaving machine gun inside rideshare, feds. So basically saying that the feds believe that he left a modified handgun that could be classified as a machine gun. Now, machine guns are illegal, man. And they're saying that, you know, basically the feds took up this case and they have him under arrest or detained at this time. Now, there was also a video that leaked that showed the rapper getting arrested. So let's take a look at that.
What's
Chicago
happening?
rapper Lil Zay Osama arrested online.
What's happening?
So,
What do you think? Just gotta get...
What's happening?
Put your hands behind your
put your
back.
hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. What happened? We're gonna short it all up. We're gonna short it all up. What is going on? We're gonna short it all up. I'm the man. I'm the shot. He's being detained right now. So back up. I'm just.
You get my phone though?
Yeah, you got anything on you?
I'm on live, sir. Put that up.
Now, judging by that footage, it looked like Lil Zay Osama was getting hemmed up, man. But the story goes like this. So the authorities say this about the rapper. They said the rapper, whose real name is Isaiah Dukes, was picked up at a hotel by a rideshare vehicle. And the driver noticed that he was holding a firearm. Now, that sounds kind of fishy, man. Like, I mean, is it to the point where he's in the back of the Uber or the back of the rideshare with the gun out? I mean, that would be reckless. But man, let's continue. Now, the story continues by saying this. They say that that same weapon was later identified as a loaded Glock 22 .40 caliber pistol that was, in quotes, affixed with a switch device, rendering the gun to be a machine gun. Now, anytime a gun is found with a switch device, you might as well start tacking on the time, right? Now, the gun had 1 round in the chamber and 9 rounds in the magazine, according to the reports, right? Now, there was a joint firearms task force and the ATF that worked with the NYPD in order to secure the weapon and to arrest Lil Zay Osama. Now, Lil Zay Osama probably got word of this video circulating about his arrest and all the rumors around it because a lot of people were clowning him. They were like, man, who is dumb enough to leave their weapon, especially if you know it's an illegal weapon, inside of an Uber? Like, that's not something you should be easily, leaving out for people just to leave out. Like, people have a tough time even leaving their phone. People have a tough time leaving anything in an Uber. You kind of have a routine, most people. Like, if you go in any ride share, you look inside of there and you view it before you leave to make sure you ain't dropped nothing behind. But nah, man, to leave a whole gun with a fully automatic clip or whatever connected to it, man, that's wild, man. And a lot of people were like, man, what was he on and what was he thinking? But Lil Zay Osama took to social media to plead his case. So let's look at what he said. Now, Lil Zay Osama allegedly posted this on social media. Now, it says this. It says, I love all my fans and family, and my girl, Janelle, and my mom and dad, and my kids. Don't believe the rumors for real. I got more blogs posting the negative, but not my album, Trench Baby 3. I got more calls than ever since. Shaking my head. See y'all soon, 100 with a heart emoji. Now, in this, it seems like he's just shouting out to all his family members, his girl, people who are close to him, and letting them know that everything will be all right. And also kind of getting at the blogs or whatever by saying, yo, you guys are posting about my arrest more than you're posting about my album. But to be real, that bad news travels fast. And that's the truth, man. When something crazy happens with a rapper, we'll be more apt to post that stuff and talk about that stuff than the rapper's album, unless it's like a big splash and a major release, You hardly ever even see album reviews anymore or people really going track for track on the album. I know I used to do it back in the day, but man, people really, they get clued in, especially on a rapper that they're not as familiar with, when a lot of this drama surrounds him. And it shouldn't be that way, so he's got a point, but man, that's the way it is because that's the way it's always been with entertainment, noise, and sensationalism. You know what I'm saying? That's just not going to change. But while he is, reaching out to everybody, he did put a plug in for his album. So if you are interested in hearing the rest of his album, and I'm wondering, I believe that Lil Durk track is on there, you might want to check it out, man. It does give everybody an opportunity to put eyes on a project they might not have heard before. But what do y'all think about this response from Lil Zay Osama, man? I mean, when you think about it, he was receiving a lot of backlash. Like, there are so many videos out there right now dissing him, basically saying like, bruh, you left a weapon with a switch on it in an Uber, and you didn't think the Uber guy would find it and immediately call the authorities, man? Like, you thinking you tripping, man. And how in the world would you just leave a weapon in an Uber or in a rideshare? And why in the world would you be passing it back and forth or handling it in the back seat for the Uber driver to see that, man? Like, he could call the police on you immediately or in the ride immediately then, you know what I mean? So it's just a bad look all around, you know what I mean? I think that Lil Zay Osama, hopefully he makes it out of this situation unscathed or with as little time as possible, and he could take this as a learning lesson, because if this is true, I think some of the embarrassment behind it will be just as bad as the time. Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Oh, hold on. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this, man. Do y'all think Lil Zay Osama was that careless, or do you think there's a possibility there might be some miscommunication in exactly what happened in this case? Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content, and we out of here. Peace.